side type stuff that you could actually get hair samples, or like I said, fecal matter, something that will be left behind? Do we have any evidence of that?
Yeah, we do. Multiple organizations have found hair samples. We have found hair samples. We have those actually in the hands of a microbiologist who's testing them right now. It's a very long process. Hair samples have been found. The BFRO organization, Bigfoot Research Organization, is probably the most popular. They found lots of hair samples. They've had those tested, and they come up as being non-conclusive, basically meaning that they cannot match that DNA sequence up to any other known animal. And it has traits of primate and human, meaning it's somewhere in between primate and human. So because this animal doesn't actually exist and it hasn't been identified, there is no known species to actually match DNA samples up to. So that makes it really hard. But lots of evidence has been found. Hair samples, fecal, all this has been found.
What about bones?
No, bones have not been found. And if you research Monster Quest and you've seen any of their episodes, they do a lot of theories where they try to debunk some of these questions. And they actually did a episode where they took a deer carcass, they put it out in the forest, they staked it down so no animal could actually remove the carcass, and they let it sit there and they let it biodegrade and they let Mother Nature do its work. Basically, that whole animal, including most of its bones, was almost completely gone within 2 months. The truth is that Mother Nature has a really quick way of taking care of any organic material, including bones. So all that stuff goes back into nature. Mice, small rodents, they love gnawing on bones to get the marrow out of it and lots of other proteins and minerals in the bones. That stuff goes really fast. Not to mention that there may be a theory or there could be a possibility that if this animal has any higher intelligence, that possibly it buries its dead or it does something else with its body. I mean, if the animal is as elusive as people think, it's probably not going to leave its dead laying around, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And Tim, that elusiveness is the reason why we haven't had a better photo than the photos in movies we have?
Yeah, that's the theory, is that this animal is extremely elusive. Like, I caught the end of this, the beginning part of this show where the gentleman there was just talking about the cat species. I know the snow leopard is one that's been thought of as being out there, but no one's captured it until recent technology. Exactly. If this animal is extremely elusive and extremely smart, it's a primate, it walks on 2 feet. I mean, you can only imagine that it may have a much greater intelligence than any other animal out there, and that if it is, it's probably very elusive to humans, and its whole life is avoiding humans. And it's only when it makes a mistake or it wants to show itself to people, as in a lot of the reports that have happened, that is the only time it's been videographed. I mean, think about when you're out in the woods, how often do you have a camera in hand? How often do you have a video camera in hand? You know, it rarely happens unless someone's out there looking for it.
Tim, where's your next expedition going to take you to look for Bigfoot?
Right now, we're just concentrating on the state of Minnesota, hoping that we can get some fresh, authentic reports, and when something comes around, we will be on top of it. But as of right now, there's nothing new going on.
It's Tim Seifert with Squatch Inc. We appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, thank you. See you later. It's 11:30. Wow, I just, you know, I get the elusiveness stuff, but I think the bones thing is a critical thing. I understand that some bones can decompose rapidly, but you think like human bones. You know, if this thing has DNA human stuff in the hair that they found of it,
you would find the bone.
Yeah, you would definitely find some kind of bones here. And secondly,
well, what if they do bury their dead though?
Well, why
would you? You know, especially in the woods, you're not just going to go digging anywhere in the woods looking for bones.
You'd still find an archaeological find, and you might do that. You know, I mean, people dig for fossils all the time. Yeah. And the other component with all of this, I think, too, is that the elusiveness. And I just had my thought just drop out of my head, but we were talking about the bones and putting it together and having that come out of there. But also the way that he kind of scurries about and it is never really. You know, it's always kind of elusive and stuff. You would think that even if he did have a high rate of intelligence, it still would be below human level, and that they wouldn't be so elusive in that regard. But if that is an instinct of them, then maybe that is.
Yeah, but the only thing that can compel me to slightly believe in it is that the hairs. They found hairs that shows proof that it exists. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it was this leopard that they knew existed, but nobody had ever seen it. But like just people that would be out and they would see it every once in a while. And it took them up until like 2 years ago to actually get a picture of this thing that they knew was around for the last 100 years, but it was so elusive and in such remote places, nobody had ever seen it until
are you talking about Planet Earth, where they actually get footage of it hunting?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the first video footage of it ever, and it's one of the coolest things you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it is animals, I think, that are really elusive. So I will go, I'm not all the way a believer, but the hair thing and the elusiveness, I can kind of buy that.
But now you're like Murph and me. We don't believe, but we're definitely not going to say we know for certain it's not there.
Yeah. Well, especially when I can open up my yearbook and say, never mind. It's 11:32 at AM 1500 KSTP. It's now time for news.